Assalaamu alaykum and welcome back to the Ramadan craft channel. Today we're going to be making these super cool slider cards. These cards slide up to reveal a message that colorizes your design, making it a really fun surprise for your recipient. You can make these for Ramadan and for Eid and mail them to family and friends to brighten up their day. It's a great way to stay connected to each other while we're all home together. You're going to need a couple of tools to make these cards, which I'm hoping you already have at home. You're going to need a 12 by 12 paper to create your template. If you don't have a 12 by 12 paper, which is a scrapbook size paper, you can use thick wrapping paper instead. You'll need one 12 by 12 paper to create a template that can be reused and one 12 by 12 paper for your card pocket. I used a slightly thicker paper to make my card. You'll also need a piece of acetate or transparency paper. If you don't have one at home, substitute this with a piece from a page protector that you aren't using. Next, you'll need white paper or white cardstock. You'll draw your design on this paper. You will also need a ruler, a pencil, an eraser, a binder clip, some wet glue, scissors, and markers, including a Sharpie marker. Let's begin. Remove any extra edges on your scrapbook paper to make a 12 by 12 square. Mine has a small white strip, so I'm going to remove the edge with scissors. Turn your paper over and fold it in half. Open it back up and measure 4 inches from the edges to divide the paper into thirds. Fold along these lines. Remove the bottom right and the bottom left panel using your scissors. Now we're going to create the window for our pocket. Measure 1 inch from the top and draw a line. Measure 0.75 from the bottom and draw a line. Lastly, measure 0.5 inches from each edge and draw a line. Cut out the center portion with your scissors. We're going to trim down the bottom flap just a tiny bit on each edge to give it a snug fit when we fold the card together. Fold all the pieces inward to check the fit. If there are any overlapping pieces, trim them down if needed. Your template is now ready to use. Place your template on the reverse side of your scrapbook paper. Trace out the pattern using a ruler if you need it to keep the lines straight. Fold all the pieces before cutting your paper. Remove the bottom right and the bottom left panel and the center box for the card window. Save these panels that we've cut out because we're going to be using them later. Bring the bottom flap up and fold over the right and left panels on top. Glue down the last panel to close up the card. Set this card pocket under a book to dry flat while we work on your insert. Now it's time to work on the insert. On your white cardstock, measure 4 inches by 7 inches and cut it out. Trim down the length just a little bit so it slides in and out of the card pocket perfectly. Place your transparency sheet underneath the white paper and clip them edge to edge using the binder clip. Cut out the transparency sheet the same size as the white cardstock. Now it's time to make our pull. Take one of the panels that we cut out from the cardstock at the beginning of the video and measure 2 inches along the short side. Draw a line across and cut along the length. Fold this piece in half and line it up to your cardstock and transparency inserts along the edge. Trim off any excess cardstock and set this aside along with the transparency sheet. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's illustrate our card. To check the fit and to map out your drawing area, bring your card pocket, which should be dry now, and slide in the white cardstock from the top opening. Mark out the edges lightly using a pencil. Your card design will be made inside this box. Sketch out your design first with a pencil. Then trace over it with a Sharpie marker. Once you're satisfied with how your card looks, erase all the pencil markings. Now, take your transparency sheet, clip it to the front of the cardstock using the binder clip, and trace over the design using the Sharpie marker carefully. Remove the binder clip and check the transparency against a white background to make sure you didn't miss any spots. Now it's time to color in your white cardstock. Let's put all the pieces together now. Place the transparency over the cardstock and line it up as perfectly as you can. Clip the bottom together using the binder clip. Lightly add some glue to the folded pull we made earlier and secure it to the top of the card, joining all the pieces together. Now it's time for the magic. Inside your card pocket, you'll find the bottom panel in the middle dividing the card in half. Stick the colored cardstock behind this sheet and slide the transparency sheet in front of this panel. You can slide the card up and down to see the color changes and any hidden surprise messages you included. Decorate and embellish your card on the edges of the pocket only so you can slide the card in and out easily. And that's it! You did it! I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you in the next video. Ramadan Mubarak!